Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
आप सुन रहे हैं तरंग डिवोशनल,
आध्यात्म से जुड़े
In next few weeks, India will see, once again, the biggest festival of democracy, the election for Indian Parliament. What more to talk than the exaggeration or the understatement of democracy, where journalists are beating, or journalists are treading length and breadth of the country to find out the right candidate. But there are also black sheeps in journalism community, or you call it people who masquerade as journalists. So fake news has been a very important, almost become a ingredient to the mela called democracy. But we have to weed it out.
Absolutely, I totally agree with you. It's not that fake news there is a general misconception that fake news has come about only after the advent of social media. Fake news has been there since time immemorial.
In different forms and different shapes.
Forms and different shapes in print media, in electronic media. Yes, the tendency as also the magnitude has certainly increased. And elections are the time when you get to see a lot of fake news. I mean, in fact, fake news has become such a big menace that it has led to mob lynching and other things in this country. And as a result, WhatsApp and other platforms had to take precautionary measures. I'm glad that the Election Commission, being a very, very modern machinery, has taken this into account, and yesterday held a high profile meeting in this regard, inviting all the major platforms, and have discussed in detail how fake news can be checked. But also it is important to ensure that this is an open-ended platform, and it's a broad platform in which there are people from all walks of life. It is the voice of the voiceless. So we have to ensure that in the name of curbing fake news, we don't end up, curbing genuine news. That also needs to be taken into account. And most importantly, it is important that we educate the people at large. While media platforms have taken steps, but they have their limitations, technological limitations are also there. But at the same time, it is important that we educate the electorate at large. And for that, not just the public broadcaster, but media as a whole has a responsibility of educating and enlightening the electorate about fake news, how to identify fake news, what constitutes fake news, how to isolate fake news, how to expose fake news, how not to become tools or pawns in the hands of people who are selling fake news or fake narratives. And I think that is very important.
There is also a very concerted effort when people say trolls. One way, trolls lead to publicity stunt, and also trolls something at times what you have highlighted in your when you say that it had led to death. We have seen in Kashmir, we have seen in some parts of Western UP, and that is a very disturbing trend. And what happened in a plant, in a aluminium plant in south around in Tamil Nadu?
Yes, absolutely. There is no doubt about it that trolling is again another big menace. But then in a democracy, if you want to express something, you should be ready to for the feedback also.
Get the flack.
And that feedback can be, but what is worrisome is the abusive nature of the feedback. You see, if you don't agree with somebody, you counter that by substantiating your viewpoint rather than resorting to abuse. And that is worrying. When you resort to abuse, then that is not being democratic. You are being vulgar, you are being, you are doing witch hunting, and the way even many party spokespersons have been trolled. Even journalists have been trolled. One journalist took an interview of the Prime Minister, and she was trolled, like, despite being a woman journalist, no courtesy, no decency was shown towards her, and she was trolled like anything. So I think that was very unfortunate, and we as media persons should be vigilant against this, and we should not be encouraging trolls. Trolls have to be dealt with in a very, very firm way, and for that we have to take action. Don't expect the state to take action. We have to be very, very clear that we are not going to allow bigots and trolls, abusive people on our social media.
Anonymity breeds corruption. We had known all this. But now anonymity breeds fake news. What the word you use, bigots, the word you used is just ends up into killing somebody else. And that is happening worldwide, not only in India.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. I think that, for that, it has to be, as I said, public has to be made aware. You see, it is not possible for a policeman to be there everywhere. That's not practical. It is for us, because sometimes some idiot may make a stupid statement, some vicious statement in some part of the country. There may be 50 people who would be listening to it. But by making it viral, we take it to crowds of people. So we have a responsibility of what is to be disseminated. You see, we have to use self-censorship. We have to have that voluntary, code of conduct. Don't expect the government to barge in every time, and it's not the government's job. I think we should be doing it on our own. We should not be sharing, liking things without thinking. I think it's very important.
I remember, sir, when when the economy opened up and the newspaper and the magazine, there were a lot of international broadcaster or a magazine publisher who wanted to come to India. हमने कहा जी अब तो magazine इतने आ गए कि अब उन पे control नहीं होगा. Then television boom happened. We have seen all that, and now the social media and the digital media that has come. Do you think? And I know that your organization, Indian Institute of Mass Communication, is working closely with Facebook, WhatsApp, and Google. Can you shed some light on that, sir?
Yes. We at Indian Institute of Mass Communication have taken several initiatives to combat fake news. We have a tie-up with Google. We have tie-ups with Facebook. And we are closely working with them. Not only that, we have incorporated combating fake news as an important part of our curricula, wherein we are imparting that to our students. But we have collaborative arrangements with lot of organizations, institutions, wherein our faculty members are going. We have a department of new media. We are going to different places, and we make it a point that wherever we go, we talk about this very important issue of fake news. So we are trying to create awareness as far as possible about fake news. We are conducting workshops. We are, and I believe that, of course, it is as one of the very small institutions in the country with 5 campuses all over India, we have our limitations. But nevertheless, what we are doing is that we are tying up with so many organizations. We are, in a way, trying to become a force multiplier in this crusade against fake news.
या यूँ कहें कि अलग जलाने के लिए एक दिवा ही काफ़ी है.
बिल्कुल, एक दिया, वो दीप से दीप जलाते रहो, हाँ, और वही प्रेम की गंगा बहाते चलो. दैट इज़ इम्पॉर्टेंट कि जो है प्रेम की गंगा जो है, नफ़रत की गंगा जो बनाने का कोशिश हो रहा है फेक न्यूज़ और बाकी चीज़ों के माध्यम से, उसको रोकना है. प्रेम की गंगा जो है वही बहाना है.
सर, इसमें तो एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है. हम कह रहे हैं कि आपने कहा जी सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन इंपॉर्टेंट है, बट टुडे एनी कम्युनिकेशन दैट गोज फ्रॉम एनी स्मार्टफोन इज ट्रैक्ड, which means the criminals are not far, which means the criminals are at harm's way and they could be tracked. I think that message is also important. It's not that one can spread a message and it can get away. And we have seen in Uttar Pradesh, police has been successful in nabbing a lot of disturbing element or the antisocial element, and I assume Election Commission will be will go with a very strong hand and nab those culprits.
I totally agree with you. I think that, there is no doubt that the law and order machinery should take care of these issues. But at the end of the day, what I always emphasize on is that unless people are aware, see, only then they will alert the law and order machinery, you see. It is important that the people are aware, look, somebody is trying to disrupt. What is happening is that people tend to believe. I mean, we are a country, we have the largest subscriber base for WhatsApp. And WhatsApp is the most popular social media being followed across the country. A lot of people who are illiterate, semi-literate, they cannot go through, textual content. They are going by video content. And video, you have morphed videos, doctored videos. People are unable to make out. They tend to believe in it. And then they, do something which is unacceptable, uncivilized. Now that cannot be accepted. Now that is possible because we will have to take this fake news battle right to the classrooms, in our schools, in our primary schools, in our secondary schools, in our villages, in our towns, panchayats. We have to involve them because this is a big menace. Something like, the polio menace we fought, the HIV menace we fought. I think that fake news is such a bigger menace. The other one affected our physical health. This affects our mental health.
And our whole society.
Health, and our social health. So we have to look at it like that. Fake news, so far as I would compare it rather as the HIV of mass communication.
We remember, sir, during World War II, Hitler used to distribute paper through the aeroplane. Yes. And we have seen that during wartime, yes, this was a fake news that was being circulated and loudspeakers were used. I think we have only matured that to a level of smartphone, and it's that means what you began by saying, that it has been there, is there, and will be there, but it is tracking it is most important.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Goebbelsian propaganda we have always heard, and it continues to date. It is there in every walk of life. But what is important is that the key at the end of the day is awareness. And also, once you are aware, you are an aware citizen, then that is why we use the word enlightened electorate, Jagruk Matdata, even in this lecture that we organized. If you are an aware citizen, then you will be able to see through the game.
Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
You are listening to Tarang Devotional Online Radio.